parts of religion, spirituality do come from the West, right? People who, as you were saying earlier, people who you still refer to this day as settlers in this country. So how do we merge those worlds?
I don't understand what you would mean by religion comes from the West. The oldest Bible is the Ethiopian Bible, and
not necessarily the West, but the colonizers.
But the concept, rather, of a higher being of Jesus Christ, of God, has always been on the African continent. It has been manipulated as a means of indoctrinating Africans and Black people around the world in a way that serves the West. But God has always been. But I will attain that God has always been with us, and to a large extent we see his remnants, and the fact that we've been able to self-actualize as Black people outside and regardless of colonialism. But more than anything else, I think also looking at, for an example, universities being microcosms of society, I think we must not lock ourselves in a particular box of only focusing on institutions of higher learning, because those are institutions of privilege.
So how do we take that, the knowledge beyond those walls?
I mean, there are many young people that aren't able to access institutions of higher learning. That's part of the reason why we had Fees Must Fall in the first place. So how do we then go to our townships? How do we go to our locations? How do we speak to those that are doing Kasi management and include them within the concept of rebuilding South Africa? How do we create community forums where we can engage in the same manner that we are now in an effective way that will bring tangible change? Because if we're going to continue around the parallels of class divisions that have been created and perpetuated, we're going to continue to miss each other in conversations, and we're going to aspire for different things at the same time while achieving absolutely nothing.
You need to take the school back to the tree. That's a metaphor. Obviously, it rains, it's cold, we need buildings. But the Green Leadership School took us back where? Into the garden. We had Fees Must Fall, making fools of some old people. Fees Must Fall in the gardens as part of a different kind of university. The food corporations, what are they doing to our country today? We complain so much about the ANC, and the ANC and all our political parties are problematic. But what about these big corporations, these big food corporations? So when we're speaking about indigeneity, right, about being indigenous, it's not only about finding our ancestors. As city people, as people in the 21st century, all of us, including Amakalas, must find our ancestors, right? We didn't come from, as we say, under the koi. We didn't come from under the bed. We are the koi. We are the San. We are the Kamissa. We are African. And when we vote, we've been taught to forget that. So our universities need to be part of taking these fragments of our society and bringing that back together. And we must stop letting the corporations off the hook, because we say they're there to make profit. Well, where were the biggest social contracts? Corporations were a big part historically of huge social contracts.